What's good, everybody? Welcome to Relax. And today we are talking about the Batman 2 and the Batman 3 and what the villain should be. So currently, I think they did a very good job with the movie, and I loved Robert Pattinson as Batman. So the thing about Robert Pattinson, a lot of people didn't like him, but I've never seen any of Robert Pattinson's movies. I've only seen him as Batman in this movie. This is the first time I've actually seen one of Robert Pattinson's movies. So my perception of Robert Pattinson is different than everybody else's. So I thought he was a little bit too chill. I think him as Bruce Wayne, he should have had a little bit more Bruce Wayne-ish character, if you know what I'm talking about. But I think they took a very, very good route with starting off with Riddler, because aside from the older Batman movies, I'm talking about before Christian Bale, because I only really refer to modern day CGI type movies. I'm not a fan of the older Batman movies or any of the old school type superhero movies. I'm into the new school CGI type shit. That old stuff, it does not impress me. I'm sorry. It's not a part of my time. The Batman I grew up with was Christian Bale's Batman, like, the more modern day stuff. And I think I want to talk about what they should do for the Batman 2 according to the villain, given that they've taken the route of starting off with the Riddler. I've never seen the Riddler in the Christian Bale movies. We've only seen Joker, Scarecrow, and Ra's al Ghul and Bane. But even in Christian Bale's movies, I still feel like the story was right. That's the thing. The story was great. That is one of the most successful Batman franchises. The story was great. But to me, it wasn't, the villains weren't done how I feel like they should have been done in a Batman movie. Christian Bale's Batman, he wasn't the Batman for me. He wasn't, what could I call this? Like, he wasn't vicious enough. Like, Ben Affleck's Batman, he was a little too vicious. Now, I feel like they're getting the balance with Robert Pattinson. And specifically about the Batman 2, I want the villain to be Scarecrow. Now, I just mentioned Scarecrow in Batman Begins. He's already been a villain, but I'm talking about him as the main villain. The main villain. And you might think he was the main villain in Batman Begins, but it was really Ra's al Ghul. He was working for Ra's al Ghul. Now, let me talk about the difference of how I want Scarecrow to be in the Batman versus how Scarecrow was done in the Arkhamverse. So what I really want to see out of Scarecrow is how the Arkhamverse did it. So in Batman Begins, he doses you with the toxin, and what Batman and Rachel experienced was a temporary vision of things that they were afraid of. Whereas in the Arkhamverse, the whole reality changes and you have to face Scarecrow in his world. So that is what I want to see versus Batman Begins Scarecrow. Like in the Arkhamverse, you literally have to travel throughout this world to defeat Scarecrow in his fantasy. The vision, the illusion that you're seeing, you have to defeat Scarecrow in that illusion. Whereas in Batman Begins, you're just seeing crazy shit and you don't know what to do. And that is the difference between the Arkhamverse Scarecrow and Batman Begins Scarecrow. And that's the difference. I want to see that version of Scarecrow on screen where you face Scarecrow in the reality and defeat him versus getting that drug and going crazy. So I want to see that done in a film. They haven't done that with Batman Begins. In Batman Begins, you're just going insane because you were drugged. That's how I see it with Scarecrow and Batman Begins. But in the Arkhamverse, you experience an illusion and you have to face the fear of what you see in that illusion and take down Scarecrow to get out of it. And that's what I want to see on film. They haven't done that yet. They've only done it at a video game. So that's what I mean by Scarecrow being the main villain of the Batman 2. I want to see that difference of facing Scarecrow in the illusion versus being drugged and going crazy, which is what Batman Begins did with Scarecrow. And that's why it didn't cut it for me. I want to see a different take on Scarecrow being inside that illusion, being inside the different reality, opposed to being drugged and going crazy. Because that's basically how I saw it in Batman Begins. He wasn't really the main villain. I want to see Batman go through a different reality and face Scarecrow. And I feel like the theme of the Batman it fits perfectly for Scarecrow. And that's what they should do for either the Batman 2 or the Batman 3. So whatever they can do with this, I think Scarecrow is the perfect take. We haven't seen Scarecrow as the main villain. And you know what I mean. The main villain, not the main villain, so-called main villain who works for somebody else who's really the main villain. I'm talking about the main focus. And I feel like Robert Pattinson's Batman is the perfect choice to do that version of Scarecrow. It's the perfect opportunity. Now, whatever they do with it, I'm cool with it. I'm with whatever they do. Because so far, I like the first one. They're going to kill it. Because one thing about the Batman that they've done, the way that movie was filmed and the theme and the background of it was unlike any other movie I've ever seen. I'm talking about in general. I'm like, yo, the theme of this movie is giving me a different type of vibe. It's like, yo, this feels so different. It's like, yo, I love this shit. I don't know, but I want Scarecrow to be the main villain for once, like the real main villain, because it's too many people who don't know what I'm talking about. But if you played Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, you know what the hell I'm talking about. So, Matt Reeves, I trust you. Just try something. A lot of people are talking about the Court of Owls. I know what the Court of Owls are, but I mean, it would be a different take, and I'm down for it because they've never been seen on film. At least Scarecrow has been seen on film. I'm just saying that version of Scarecrow wasn't the right one for me. But the Court of Owls would be great because we've never seen them on film. But I'm just saying, like, certain villains, like the villains in Christian Bale's series, like the way they were done, it's not like how the Arkhamverse does it. Like, the Arkhamverse is the type of villains, like they have the villains done right. And the way they've done it is how I want to see it on film. So that's all I got to say. Comment what you think. Am I right? Like, do you think this would be a good route? Because Scarecrow in Batman Begins is different from the Scarecrow in the Arkhamverse, and the way Arkham did it was very perfect. It was perfect. Like, going through that illusion. What if he goes into Arkham Asylum and then it turns out to be a whole different reality, and then he has to go through that reality and face Scarecrow? Because you know it's not real. Like, of course he's not in that actual reality. It's a drug. But we see Batman in that reality because that's what he's experiencing. And the way he defeats Scarecrow is fighting the fear off in that illusion that he's facing from that drug. Because that's how Scarecrow works. But I want to see that sequence in the movie. I want them to do that for real. Take inspiration from Arkham Asylum and put that on film. If they don't do that, I don't know. But I just want to see that done on film. Comment what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.